call them cool, those hearts that have no scars to show. The ones that...
Young people, this is Jeff Yalden again. I want to address young people and their responsibilities. Specifically, I want to address an email that I received from this past Friday. I received an email from a friend of mine. I'm not going to mention his name for instructional purposes only. Let's call him Bob. Let's say his name is Bob. Bob's a 7th grade kid, upstate New York. Had a life coaching session with Bob. Great kid. I love you, Bob. I really enjoyed working with you. The email basically stated he was in a bad mood because he had to play in the band for homecoming on Friday night, but he wanted to spend the night with his friends instead, so this set him off. He was in a bad mood. So as he was walking down the stairs, the dog was laying around, and he said to the dog, "Move." When I tell my dog to move, my dog looks at me and is like, Yeah, dog, move. The dog ain't gonna move because you're in a bad mood, and you shouldn't expect the dog to move, and let alone you shouldn't kick the dog. Only people like Michael Vick treat dogs like that. That's funny. Anyway, so then Dad was home, and Dad said, "Hey, what's your problem?" And he said, "I'm in a bad mood, don't talk to me." Who are you to tell your parents not to talk to me like that? It doesn't matter if you're in a bad mood. And then your dad said, "Yeah, you know, if your mom wasn't here, I'd be kicking your butt right now." Hey, listen, I want to put the responsibility back where it belongs. This isn't a situation about mom. It's not a situation about dad. It's not a situation about the dog. This is a situation about your responsibilities. You made a commitment, son, to be on that homecoming band. You made a commitment to play in homecoming, but you wanted to go spend time with your friends. Son, you've got responsibilities and you've got obligations, and when you make a commitment, you need to fulfill that commitment. And when you fulfill that commitment, your rights and privileges will be there for you. You needed to go to homecoming. You needed to play for that band that night, and everything else would take care of itself. Your friends will be there. Excuse me, got to grab this phone call. Hey, how you doing? I'll call you back in about 5 minutes. Thanks, Wes. Love you. Bye. All right, responsibilities, obligations. Got to take the important phone calls. Back to you, my friend Bob. You made a commitment. I expect that you're going to fulfill your commitment, and you fulfill your responsibilities, and rights and privileges will be that much greater. You don't have an attitude with your dog. You don't have an attitude with your parents. The bottom line is you have a responsibility, you have an obligation to be a good son, to be a good brother, to be a good sister, to go to school every day, to do the best you can, to engage in extracurricular activities, because the more engaged you are, the less likely you'll do drugs or engage yourself in negative behaviors outside school. There are times when I don't want to do something and I'd rather be doing something else, but when you make a commitment and you fall on that commitment you've made, you've lost a lot of respect to people. Follow through on your commitments. This is Jeff Yalden. You have questions, I've got an opinion. You might not like it, but it's my opinion. Woo!